Once upon a time, there was a floating rock suspended in space called the Earth. On Earth, humans are made to stay together, to depend on and help each other, to function at the planet as a whole. This population, that is to say, the human population, is very vast, it's very complex, and everyone has their own goals and purpose in this life. And so their motives may not always align. This leads to a lot of more complexities, which is like trust issues between people. And in order to depend on and help each other, we do need a certain amount of trust. But this trust cannot always be achieved, because not everyone has the same goal. So, in this channel, in this episode, I'm going to be talking about what sort of people you should avoid trusting. Hey guys, welcome to my podcast channel, Head Held High. My name is Zara and I'm 15 years old. I made this channel for other teenagers to, say some things that I feel like would really help them if they knew that they weren't alone in it and alone in experiencing everything. Because being a teenager is sort of like the whole period from, I'd say 11 to 18 or whatever. I don't know, I'm not 18 yet, but all the way until the whole roller coaster ends. I feel like if I made this channel, it would really help some other people. I'm going to be talking about self-love and self-care, development of those, mental health problems, social issues, friendship, people, and everything high school related. So let's get into the purpose of this specific episode. So today I'm going to be discussing what sort of people you should avoid trusting, like I already said earlier. And trust is a very important thing that we need in order to get further in life. But what is more important is that you trust the right people. Okay, so my very first point is that if your subject has an ex-best friend, you try and see if they share their ex-best friend's secret. And I think this is a very important point because this requires very minimal common sense to understand, but some people evidently lack that, so I'm going to say it. When you're given the responsibility to keep a secret, you should understand that you are not supposed to share the secret because it's not your right, nor your business, nor your responsibility to disclose a secret that's not yours, or disclose any sort of thing that is not yours, like talk, that might have the potential of becoming gossip. And literally, when you're in high school, anything can turn into gossip. When your subject shares their ex-best friend's secret, this is not right because they may do it to spite them. They may do it because they don't care about how their ex-best friend feels anymore. And if they do it for their ex-best friend, then who's to say that when you become their ex-best friend, they won't do it to you as well? So please, keep your distance. So now my second point is that insecure people are not trustworthy. Let me give you a little background as to why. Because insecurity, it is like perceived by many people that being insecure is not related to being trustworthy. But I think that's very, very, that's very mistaken because here's the thing. Insecure people, they don't trust themselves. When do you trust someone? When you know them, right? Insecure people, they're insecure because they don't know themselves. And that equals to they don't trust themselves. And so now when they don't trust themselves, they look for this trust and validation in other people, in their environment. And usually people don't give it to them because they, since insecure people, they didn't work on themselves. So they're not seen as like good people. They're seen as bad or shallow people most of the time. When you're insecure, it shows, it's loud. But when you're confident, that's also loud. So and everyone can like tell subconsciously or consciously whether or not you're insecure or confident. So now back to my point, the insecure people, they look for trust in their environment. And to do this, they usually want to play it as the good, the good person. They want to be seen as good by everyone. So they tend to stay out of disagreement. And also, for example, you tell an insecure person that you don't like, let's say C, a person called C, okay? You don't like C. And so this person, the insecure person, your subject, they will sit down and then they will backbite about, they will say bad stuff. They'll gossip about C with you because you're going to gossip about C. You don't like C. So they're going to sit down and do that with you. And then if C doesn't like you, then they'll go to C and then they're going to tell C that look, he or he does not like you. And then they're also going to talk, basically they're going to talk about you badly to C as well. So it's sort of like they develop this quality of being two-faced as well. And that's what insecurity does to a person. It suppresses your good qualities, and bad qualities that weren't originally yours start to develop as well. So yeah, that's what I mean by insecure people are not trustworthy. Last point is that when you want to trust someone, you should take your time to know them. Like take about 9 to 12 months to observe their patterns and their behaviors and how they react when people compliment or insult you, what they sort of do in certain situations. And I think you would be smart enough to figure out whether or not they're trustworthy. One last thing I want to tell you is that when you tell someone a secret, it is no longer a secret. And I heard this when I was, I think, 11 or 10 years old, 10 or 11, yeah. and it stuck with me. And yeah, basically, no one really needs to know anything about you, but if you're that kind of person who likes to talk about every detail of your life, then you go ahead, do it, but do it to the right people because it'll come back to you. If you're in high school, you know this, and it literally, if you're a social person, if you have a reputation, which you most likely do because everybody's watching you, so we'll just come right back at you. Everyone will know your secret when you tell someone. So yeah, be careful. And yeah, so that was the first episode of Head Held High. And I'm so excited. I love this. Had an amazing time basically just ranting to you guys. So yeah, thanks for being here to listen to that. Thanks for listening again. Till next time. Bye.